Hey, friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com. Happy New Year. Happy 2019. And if it's the end of the year, then I hope you've had a good 2019. But as this video is going up, it's the beginning of a new year. And I wanted to give you 3 home studio rules for 2019. And when I say rules, I mean things to challenge you, because that's what part of my job is to challenge you. The Recording Revolution exists to help you do exactly what you want to do, which is make more music, make better sounding music, develop as an artist, as a musician, as an engineer. And so I can't just give you tips and tricks. I can't just give you tutorials. I also have to challenge you and coach you, because that's a huge missing piece. Tips and tricks aren't going to just make you better. You need more than that. Sometimes you need somebody telling you to change the way you do things and to challenge your thinking a little bit. So when I was thinking about the new year, what can I give you that would help push you in a good direction? Well, I want to give you 3 what I'm calling rules for 2019. Make these your mantra for 2019 in your home studio. If you can follow these 3 things, you're going to have better recordings and mixes. You're going to be making more music. You're going to improve as an engineer. You're going to have more fun. You ready? Home studio rule for 2019 number 1 is do not spend another $100 on your home studio without writing and recording a song to warrant it. I don't want you spending any more money on gear or software or plugins or whatever until you've written a new song that you're going to use that gear to produce. But more profoundly, I want you to have a reason for every single purchase you make. You work too hard for your money. Don't just throw it away on a piece of gear unless there is a reason. Will this purchase actually help me record something that I can't record without it? Will this piece of equipment or software allow me to do something in my recordings that I cannot do with gear I already have? Will this purchase actually take my next recording to the next level sonically, or is it just a cool piece of gear that I want to own? I want to challenge you. Only spend money on your home studio when it helps you do something new or better that you can't currently do, and you've got a new song to warrant or justify that purchase. Now, you can do whatever you want. You can ignore what I'm saying. It is your money. Spend it however you want. I'm just saying, I know that most of us buy the gear because we just want the gear. And I want you to think differently this year. I want you to buy the gear because it helps you do something to actually make better music. Okay, home studio rule number 2 for 2019 is please learn to use the bundled plugins that come with your recording and mixing software. The stock plugins, as we call them, are there. You own them. They sound great, but many of you don't use them. Many of you assume you got to go buy some third-party plugins. I have nothing against third-party plugins. I use a bunch. A lot of my friends make the ones that I use. But what I don't want you to do this year is to let another year go by where you actually haven't figured out how to use your stock plugins, and instead you move on to buying something new, some new EQ, some new compressor, some new saturation plugin. As cool as those things are, you don't need them to make a really good recording or mix. You just don't. And until you have learned how to mix well on stock plugins, you'll never realize that. And there is nothing wrong with third-party plugins, but I know many of you are spending money, whether it's a plugin bundle or subscription or whatever it is, but you've never really learned how to maximize your stock plugins. And my challenge for you for 2019, for this year, is to actually get to know your included plugins intimately. Get to know what your compressors sound like, what your EQs sound like, what your limiter sounds like, what your reverbs and delays sound like. Whatever comes with your software, whatever comes with your DAW, I want you to know those plugins like the back of your hand. A, it'll save you money from having to buy third-party plugins. B, it's very empowering to know that if you just had a fresh installation of your DAW with nothing else but the bundle plugins, you could churn out a pro-level mix. And C, this year, if you just challenge yourself to only use the stock plugins, it'll simplify your mixing process. Because here's what happens. You go to mix and you do an insert for a plugin and you're looking for your EQ, and you have like 17 EQs. EQs from Waves, from Slate, from UA, from Avid. You got too many EQs. Which EQ are you going to use? That's time wasted. That's mental space wasted on a decision that's not really going to make that much of a difference. Now, Believe me, I know that EQs and compressors sound different. I own a bunch of different ones. That's a really an advanced concept to be able to paint with different colors, as it were, because you know that this compressor sounds different than this compressor. I'm not opposed to that. I'm just saying many of you aren't really at that level in the sense that your mixes don't sound good because you just haven't developed as a mixer yet. It's not because of which compressor you're using. And so if you can eliminate the decision making of having to pick an EQ or pick a compressor out of all the ones you own and just use the stock EQs and compressors and whatever you got bundled with your software, you'll save time, you'll save mental space, you'll get to the creative decision making instead of the which plugin should I use decision making. What you do with that EQ is more important than what EQ you use. That's kind of the point here. And home studio rule number 3 for 2019 is be open to critique. Invite critique. The fastest way you will grow is by having people critique your work. And it's painful. But if you're serious, you will do this. If you don't do this, you're just playing around and it's a hobby, and that's fine. But if you want to get good, you need critique. So what you need to do is find 2 or 3 people, good friends, family members, people who have a relative musical ear, but they don't have to be music people at all. Find these 2 or 3 family members or close friends, especially if they're engineers, but it's good to have non-engineers do this for this reason. What you do is you play them some of your recent music. You say, look, I'm trying to develop my craft this year. I really want to invite some critique and feedback. All I'm asking you to do is take a listen to this song or listen to my most recent mix and tell me, what do you hear? What do you think? You don't really lead them any more than that. You want them to listen to it and then just you listen to what comes out of their mouth. What do they say? Or if they email you back, what do they email back? Listen for trends. People are going to have all kinds of different thoughts and opinions, but if you see a pattern of your 3 friends all kind of saying, sounds great, but the vocals are a little muffled and hard to hear. Or if they're like, oh, really cool song, but I felt like I had to keep turning it up to match the level of other songs in my car. Or I really dig the song, but it kind of hurts my ears. It feels a little harsh. These are clues as to things you need to go back into the mix or the recording and fix. There are probably some EQ things, some overall balance things, level or limiting. Maybe it needs to be mastered a little bit better. These are just overall big picture issues that the average casual fan can hear that will lead you on the right path. They're not going to be hearing music the way you hear it. They're not going to be thinking about, should I have used an LA two-way or an 1176 in that vocal? They're just going to be saying, can I hear the vocal? Can I understand the lyrics? Is the song too quiet or too loud? Does the song seem muffled? These are helpful things that you'll probably hear from your friends. Also, though, listen for the positives. When they say, dude, this song is so sweet, or I love when that hook comes in, it was so awesome, or this song sounds just like XYZ's latest album. Those are all really good signs that you're on the right track, that your song is doing what it's supposed to do, which is make people like the song and hear the song. They're not thinking about tone or balance or any of those things. Getting the feedback from an average listener is a gold mine for you because what they say goes. The average music fan and listener doesn't know why a recording sounds good. They just know that it sounds good. They don't care what you do to it or what needs to be done. They just hear the song and know that it's good. Or they hear the song and know that it doesn't seem super professional. And that's a big indicator to you that you have a little bit more work to do, but that's helpful. As hard as it is to receive feedback, it's the only way to honestly evaluate your craft and get better, which will ultimately make you look better and be more presentable, which is what you want. So be open to feedback, invite critique this year. You will be better for it. Look, it's a new year. I love the new year because it's a chance to like rethink and reframe. If you don't do anything different this year, you're going to get the same results as last year. The more you record, the more you mix, the better you get. It's inevitable. So hopefully you will just progress in general because you're making more music than you did last year. But if you follow these 3 rules, I promise you, you will develop your craft faster, you'll put out more music, and you'll have more fun. And that's what I want for you for 2019. 2 things before you go. 1, if you haven't already, download my 6 steps to a radio ready song guide. This is what you need to make music in 2019 if you want your music to sound professional. It's a super easy read, quick PDF. The link's below. You can go to radioreadyguide.com and download it absolutely free. It'll walk you through a 6-step process and framework for taking your song idea this year and actually turning it into a professional master that you can stream on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you like to distribute your music. It's fun, it's easy, it's a resource you need to have. If you haven't already downloaded it, get it, keep it on your phone, use it all year long. Links here, grab your copy. 2, leave a comment below and let me know which one of these 3 rules is going to be the hardest for you. Is it being open to critique? Is it just trying to use your stock plugins this year and get to know them a lot better? Or is it restraining your spending until you have a reason to buy what you want to buy? Let me know. Let me know which rule is going to be more of a challenge for you. Be honest, it's okay. We all struggle in different areas. Leave a comment below. Let's start a discussion. I'd love to hear where you're at with that. Happy New Year, my friend. Thanks for being a part of the Recording Revolution. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you liked it. Subscribe to the videos if you want to see more of these popping up. I'll be here all year long delivering helpful content to help you get better at recording and mixing, to know what to buy and how to use it, and even more importantly, to give you that kick in the pants every once in a while to get out there and actually do it this year, because you can. You've got great ideas you can develop in this craft, and the world needs to hear what you've got to share. That's it for today. I'll see you on another video real soon.